So Christine, I'm just going ahead and making a video of this process. So I am in your Christine folder, and I talked to you yesterday about how you have a form and a template and a spreadsheet that the form creates, and the appraisals end up in that folder. I create that folder. So I'm putting everything now. In fact, what I'm going to do just to make this easier to understand. So my annual appraisals actually are all up. Now we're going to create a new folder here, and I'm going to call it annual appraisals form. Well, yeah, I'm going to just call it that. So basically, the annual appraisal, everything regarding annual appraisals is going to go in there. So the spreadsheet, the template, and the form itself. So I'm popping all that stuff into that folder. So the folder I've, excuse me, Christine now has a 30, 60, 90 appraisal and the annual appraisals form. So inside the annual appraisals are the actual appraisals that we're writing to. So just backing up to there. So I've gone ahead and started the 30, 60, 90. And what I did was took your this document here. I've already, I forgot to start my recording. I just basically took a copy of this one because there was just a few things to change. So I actually took this document because most of the work was already done on the original template. So I just took that, made a copy of it, named it this, and then got rid of the stuff that didn't belong on this particular form. But I didn't have to do a whole lot of reworking of this form. Now I'm building the form. So what we see back on this form is that I had this first section, and I think I'll do that same thing. I think I'll come to this form, and I think I'll add a section, and I think actually I don't. So you got to build that section before you do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and trash this question. Okay, so I do have section 1 is that. I'm going to go ahead and copy this from your other form, put that in here. Yeah, so that's just some of the same. So section on 30, 60, 90 performance review. Okay, so that's looking the same. In section 2, part 1, collecting all of this data, name, manager, job title, and department. So in section 2, this is called part 1. I am now adding name, short answer, and then one of the things you can do with a form to make this quicker is just duplicate that, and then it creates that. And now all I need to do is change that, manager, duplicate. So I have name, manager, job title, and department. So this one, it becomes job title, and duplicate, and department. Now there are ways we could do this a little bit different. If you had a list of job titles, we could put that in there as a drop down, and then you wouldn't have to type. Managers could be a drop down list. Names probably not, but managers could be, job titles could be, departments could be. Right now I'm leaving it as the short answer type of questions where you actually have to type it in. So what we had done there was we'd done part 2, section 2 of our form was having us do that. Section 3, I'm calling it the appraisal. So coming over here, I'm going to put in a section, calling it the appraisal. It's going to all be modified. And then what I did on this one is I grabbed that, and I put that in there. But then the next section that is in here is actually just what we call a title section. So I'm going to copy this It's the ratings definition, and on here I'm putting in a title, and under the description I'm pasting all that in there, and I am calling it, I'll just copy and paste, copy, come back over here and paste. So there's the ratings definition. That's section 3. Section 3, and then we start filling out the grid. So yeah, section 3, and then we come here, and now I'm just going to start adding those questions. And in this case, the question was quality of work. So quality of work. And it wants a linear scale. In this case, we had gone to a 0, and then the labels we had put on our linear scale was not applicable to exceptional. So not applicable. Not applicable. Let's spell that correctly. To exceptional. Okay. Anyway, just going to keep. I'm going to keep duplicating this. I'm going to stop my video. Pause it. I'll stop that video for just a moment. So I am just coming back here and looking. We've got quality of work, initiative, productivity, and consumer focus is what we're collecting. So quality of work, initiative, productivity. What I'm doing there is just duplicating it because I had it set the way I wanted, and that last one was called again consumer focus. Consumer focus. Okay. Now, one thing about these forms, if you need to be sure that all the parts get filled out, you can make every question required. I didn't do that on any of these because for testing purposes, I don't like to make them required because then you have to fill out the form to kind of go through it. But at the end of the form, when you're all done and ready to push it out, you might want every one of these questions to be required so people don't leave something blank. So the other piece that we had here, we had these comments. That's right, I forgot about these. So we have to rename the comments different for every different piece because you can't just have the word comments, otherwise Form Publisher wouldn't know where to put the data. So I have to come back here now, and I'm going to add, in this case, under Consumer Focus, we're going to add a CF-comments. Okay, and that's a paragraph. It knows that. I'm going to come under productivity, and I'm going to add a P-comments. And again, it goes to paragraph. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to add under initiative. I'm going to add I-comments, and under quality of work, I'm going to add a QW-comments. Okay, and I think so we have the quality of work, we have comments, initiative, we have comments, we have productivity, we have comments, we have consumer focus, we have comments. So looking back over here, the rest of this could be filled out by the form, but I'm still thinking you want to create the form and have the people fill that part out. We would have to discuss that. So basically, I got 2 steps done. I have the form. Let's preview it and see what it looks like. So because I put in sections, here's my first section. I'm just clicking. The next section is fill out your name, manager, job title, and department. Next section is I've got the ratings definition to go back, as I scroll through this and look if I'm confused. And the not applicable is in there so that we can get the not applicable. That's why I have the 0. And then the comments, initiative I comments, productivity P comments, consumer focus. Yep, ready to go, ready to submit. So I haven't filled anything out there, but this is the form. This is the view of the form. This is the actual document that is going to be written to. So let's move into the Form Publisher piece. Form Publisher is an add-on to the actual form itself. So coming back over here, I'm now going to go into Christine. I want to go to the 30/60/90. Right now, the 30/60/90 has a form and it has a review. As soon as I collect data and on the form and go to responses and click the spreadsheet button, it's going to create the spreadsheet and it should put it in that folder. I don't need to do that right now. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I want to create a new spreadsheet right off the bat before I even collect anything. you'll see it's all empty right now. I'm going to actually shrink everything down so I can kind of see the entire contents right now. I did that, by the way, by clicking in the top left corner and double clicking on the line. When I have the arrow have that little line between two cells, you can shrink down the entire contents. So now there's the spreadsheet. So those are the things we talked about. I've got a form, a spreadsheet that collects the data, and a document. Now I want to create my new folder because these are the actual collected, is what I'm going to call them this time. Collected 30-60-90. So basically, this is the folder that's going to collect everything. So I'm collecting them all. Now I have a folder. So every time you build a form, I'd get in the habit. So here's Christine. Here's my annual appraisals. It's got a form, a document template, a spreadsheet, and a collection folder. And then 30-60-90 has a template, a form, and a spreadsheet, and a folder to collect it. So now I come back to 30-60-90 and I come to the questions. Now I'm going to run Form Publisher. If you haven't added Form Publisher, I already have. It's an add-on. You would have to come to your Gearbox, and actually you might have to come to this 3 dots, add-ons. And you could look for a lot of different form add-ons. The one, there's several that you can do, but we were using Form Publisher. Advanced Summary is a nice one to add because Advanced Summary will give you more specific data about what you've actually collected than what Google gives you. Anyway, I've got Form Publisher. You would have to add it and authorize it. Here's Form Publisher. I'm going to start running it. Comes up, get started. And it runs pretty quickly. There's about 5 steps. Do you have a template? Yes. It's a document. One of the things you can do with Form Publisher is put data on a sheet. That can be important. So where is my document? Well, it's the this one, the 30-60-90 performance review. So that's my document that I've created. And by the way, I already had these merge tags in there. Those exactly match the contents of the form, and that's really important. I had already built that. So there's my template. It found 8 markers matching, it's telling me, and 4 questions not in the template. Productivity, consumer focus, initiative, and CF comments. So I guess need to, yeah, okay. So initiative. So notice this is good, this popped up. So this needs to say initiative inside of merge tags. This needs to say productivity. So Form Publisher told me, hey, you don't have it right yet. And consumer focus. And these have to be spelled exactly the same, even to the point of case sensitivity, or Form Publisher doesn't find them. Now I can come back over to the form and say, oops, yeah, you're right. I didn't have that quite right, so I'm going to run that again and see what I find. 10 markers are matching, 2 questions not in, okay, initiative. There's no marker for initiative. Let's go back here and see. I have C, this should be CS comments. And this should be P comments, that should be I comments, and that should be QW comments. And those are all part of the form. I have a QW comments, an I comments, a P comments, and a CF comments. And I have QW comments, I comments, P comments, and CF comments. So let's run this again. It tells me there's no marker in my template for initiative. Did I misspell? Yes. INITIATIVE, initiative. Now I'm going to come back here. Now maybe we can go ahead. Markers detection. I'm going to refresh. There we go. 12 markers in the template that match what's in the form. So that's a good sign. Next, my template set up. Do you have a drive folder? Yes. You don't have to. I always do it first because it seems to me to be easier. Collected 306090. That's the folder I've created. Okay. And then how do you want to name the file? You can use the template title. I think what I'm going to do here is the increment I don't really need, but I think what I want to do, if I use a merge tag, I have the name field on here. So ding ding name, ding ding, and I'm putting a space. So the file is going to be called the name of the person that you're putting in here, template title, which is 306090 performance review. So that's what's actually going to be the title. Save the generated file URL. Yes, I do want to do that. I don't care about this increment. That would be good if you were doing like invoicing, but I don't think we need that. Another thing we could put in here is timestamp, and then the file name would actually have the date, but the timestamp I think brings in the hour, and so that's not as good. And this, by the way, can always be modified. So now on this step, I have done the destination folder and the naming. So I go next. And right now, who has access? Well, I want to add the, well, hold on. Let me do one more thing. Let me back up here, because we have to go to a setting in here and we have to collect email addresses and save that. And now that's going to put the email. It's automatically collecting email, and we'll notice that right in here, email got added. That needed to have been checked. So now, yes, next. Also share with respondent now automatically pops up because we're collecting the email address. And I want the respondent, I want the respondent to be able to edit. And right now I'm not seeing that. So I'm going to go back and go back again, because I probably should have had that set. Do I have a drive folder? Yes. I may have to start my form publisher over again. Collected, select, name, template, title, save generated file, next. I'm going to have to fix that, but I want the respondent to be able to edit, not comment in view. And I don't see that option right there. Like I would be able to edit it, but that one not. And here's where you can edit the email that gets sent off with people. And you could send this off to WV. So here I would put in the sender. And you don't necessarily need the form publisher piece of that. And you can change this. Your file has been successfully generated. And that's probably all you need to say. Save and close. The only thing I need to come back here and fix up is that for some reason you're not being able to edit, which I want to be able to do. And then I say done. And at this point, your form is ready. Let's give it a try. So I go next and I put in Tim manager IT, and then I come down and go next, and I go 5. I'm going to make sure my comments are all in here. I have a problem there. The I comments is wrong. And I'll make sure that something comes in there. And here, and CF comments. And submit. Okay, and you're ready to submit another form. But back over here, on the spreadsheet, I should see the data has all been collected. Form publishers just created the document. I saw it pop in right there. So I would come into collected, and here's my document. And what we have to check and make sure everything populates. So Tim, manager IT. I got a 5, a 5, a 5, a 5. And that's basically it. I got a comment, option 1. So everything is working. And you're ready to go with a little bit of cleanup. That would not have been mailed to me because, or if it won't mail it to me, but if you fill one out, it would mail to you, and I'll make sure that I fix that last little piece.